Welcome, YouTubers, to the first episode of Life on 10. I am Angela and I am hosting this with...
I'm Vanessa Walker, and I'm really happy to be here with everybody today.
Cool.
And what are your backgrounds?
So, just a little bit of info about me. I have been in the healthcare field for about 25 years now, but in that space, I have also worn a couple of hats as a teacher, a guidance counselor, a social worker. My God, I can't believe that. And then there are some additional little secret things that I'm not going to tell you just yet.
More to come.
More to come. But right now I have a coaching business. I do executive coaching, and I also work for Sutter Independent Physicians.
And I am a private practice physician. I am a pulmonary critical care physician with Pulmonary Medicine Associates in Sacramento, California. I am also one of the medical directors for Sutter Independent Physicians, and I focus on service excellence, helping our physicians try to provide excellent care to our patients. And so in that sphere, Angela and I connected.
Yes.
And then we also host a peer group for physicians in the area to come and talk about things that might be bothering them related to the concept of physician burnout. And that's something that we could talk about in another episode. But that's kind of what I do. My specialty is pulmonary and critical care medicine. So I take care of people with lung problems and, unfortunately, the sickest of the sick, patients that have that need critical care in the intensive care unit.
The fortunate thing is that they have you taking care of them.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So where were you born and raised?
I was born in Miami, Florida, born and raised in Miami, Florida, and relocated to Lee Summit, Missouri, I think in 2005, and stayed there for about 7 years, and then joined Sacramento Community in 2013. My parents, my dad is from the Bahamas, and my mom was, you didn't ask this question, but I'm telling you anyway, my mom was a little Southern belle. And so both of my parents have moved on in terms of they're no longer with me, but they're definitely with me today in spirit. I can feel them.
Oh,
they're super happy about this.
Awesome. So I was born and raised in Folsom, right down the road, and have moved around. Went to college in East Tennessee at a really small school called Lincoln Memorial University. I then went to medical school in Kansas City, Missouri at an osteopathic medical school. Proceeded to go to University of Nevada for my residency in internal medicine, and then moved to North Carolina. I went to Duke University for my fellowship in pulmonary and critical care medicine, and then moved back here finally with Robert and our daughter, and then our son came next to start up my practice at Pulmonary Medicine Associates here, and then decided to move right next door to my parents.
Woo. Your
Your parents are with you in spirit. My parents are next door.
They're physically,
physically nearby.
That's super cool.
What does the name of the channel mean?
Awesome question. Awesome question. So there's an artist that I follow and I have a lot of respect for, and one of his songs he talks about living life on 10. So that inspired me. The topic comes from just that, the ability to live life on 10. And to me, that's going to mean something different for everybody. But for me, living life on 10 is being authentically 100% you. And that does not necessarily mean perfection.
Yes.
It means that you're the best you. And that's going to look different depending on what's going on in life, and being okay with that. So it's spiritual, mental, physical, emotionally showing up.
Yeah.
Yeah, showing up authentically.
Yeah.
Yeah. And celebrating that, being okay with that, and not looking for perfection.
And the other thing I kind of want to add on to that is the concept of living your life on 10, but that's your 10.
Yes,
right?
exactly.
Because your 10 looks different than my 10, and constantly comparing ourselves to others, it will lead to nothing but unhappiness. You're never going to be, as successful as somebody else, or it's you just got to be whatever your goals are. Set them and constantly strive for them, but simply not reaching them or doesn't mean that you failed, doesn't mean it's just the journey, everything you're doing to try to be a better person in what is your goal. That's what I think is life on 10 is being happy with who you are, where you are, no matter what's going on, and just constantly trying to make yourself better and bring some good to the world. That's like the number one thing.
And also just accepting that where you are at that point in time is exactly where you're supposed to be.
Exactly.
And even though sometimes it sucks and it's difficult and it's challenging, and we're going to get into those things when life shows up, because life is always showing up. And how you can show up for life, ready for it, prepared for the changes and the opportunities. I don't like to say challenges, but it's all about opportunity and growth. Life on 10.
Life on 10.
Life on 10.
What do you hope the audience will gain from this channel?
I think, first of all, I'm going to say one of the reasons why we started this channel
go ahead.
Is that Angela and I have a lot of fun together. Every time we get together, we're laughing, we're talking about really interesting topics, and we're doing it in a respectful way and honoring each other's different backgrounds and opinions. And that's what I love about working with Angela, is that she creates a space that no matter what I say, even if I say something stupid, she kind of tells me like, well, let's rethink that, Vanessa. How could you say that a little differently? And that's what I love about working with her. And so every time we get together, people comment that they've enjoyed what we've been doing. And so I thought, well, let's share it and see if anybody else enjoys it and try to bring that out. But I'm also doing this for a hobby. I work really, really hard. I'm a physician, I'm a wife, I'm a mom, and my husband keeps telling me that I don't do a lot of things for myself, and that you need to get a hobby. You need to get a hobby. Well, this is my hobby, and I've decided that we're going to do this and we're going to have fun, and that's one of the things. And if you all can benefit from our hobby and us getting together and talking and enjoying life, so be it. You want to share?
So for me, it's everything Vanessa said. It's everything Vanessa said, and also I like to plant seeds, is what I call it. And having people slow down and kind of think about what they're doing, how they're responding to life. You're gonna notice that Vanessa's more of the kind of fun person, and I'm gonna be that deep, profound person. So my reasons for doing this is so I want to put thoughts in people's head so they can slow down and think about life and how they're showing up for life, and about being self-compassion and having compassion for others. And we're really going to bring some very, I think, controversial topics. And that's one of my goals. I want us to talk about the hard stuff. The things that people are afraid to talk about, that we're not afraid to talk about.
Exactly.
Vanessa already talked about what she hopes to gain from the channel. What do you hope to gain?
I hope to gain. That's a great question. I don't say gain, I just want to serve. So that's an opportunity to serve. And that's where I look at it. It's just a chance for me to serve.
Which totally fits in with your personality, which you all may not know yet, but you will as the series goes on. That's where Angela shines.
You see your audience?
Oh, great question.
I see our audience being everybody. I'm hoping to draw in, obviously, our friends and family. We want them to come in and see what we're doing. My patients, I'm opening us up to them. I'd really love for them to see me in a different light and see what inspires me to take care of them and provide them the best care that I can, because I'm one of those doctors that truly cares. And I know that most doctors do, right? But I really do. I take it home. I cry with my patients. I love my patients. And I love taking care of people. So I want them to see a different side of me. I also want to take the air of you know, awe and pageantry away from being a physician, because we are just regular people like everybody else. We deal with the same problems. We have the same shortcomings. We have the same issues that everybody else is dealing with. And I think seeing your physician in that kind of light will help improve the relationship between patients and physicians, and would help, I think, with physician burnout, which is a topic that we'll talk about. Why does that matter, and why does that affect you? You know, because that's huge.
I agree.
So everybody, we want this to be available for everybody.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I don't have a target audience. I think everybody. The more diverse our audience is, the more successful. I think the show would be.
Yeah, definitely, definitely.
So come one, come all.
Absolutely.
You can expect to receive a video from Vanessa and I
on the 10th of every month.
On the 10th of every month.
Because we are living life on 10.
So yes, absolutely, absolutely. 10. 10 has that significance. It means completion. It means, I was looking that up the other day, the symbol for 10, growth and opportunity as well. So the 10th of every month.
And we might, you know, if y'all like what we're doing, then we can, increase the frequency. But I think starting off with that will be a good way to.
The 10th of every month.
10th of every month. And then at which point, you know, we'll grow from there.
Yeah,
but
we will.
We want to make sure it's something that not only we like doing, and the content that we provide is meaningful to us and to you. And that's what we're looking for. Yeah.
What topics can we expect? I know that you've already touched on this a little, but what are some of the samples of our upcoming videos?
So that's awesome. We're gonna go deep. We're gonna go wide. We're gonna offend people, because that's what we want to do. Because when people become offended, that means they're being challenged out of their comfort zone.
Exactly.
So topics are going to be physician burnout, but we're not just limiting this to medicine.
Absolutely. The concept of burnout on that.
The concept of burnout. So topics that we're going to talk about, LGBTQ patients, the community, what that looks like. We're going to talk about depression. We're going to talk about what it is to be a woman and to have the pressure to be perfect, to be pretty. We're going to talk about ageism, sexism.
Absolutely. We're going to talk about being a working mom and working dad, and the different gender roles that are placed onto our society. You know, being a stay-at-home mom, stay-at-home dad. How do you balance work and family? We are going to talk about the concept of death and dying, and how we approach that, because you know, Angela and I can both bring some different ways of thinking about it. These are all ideas that we have floating in our head that we want to talk about, but I think what we need from you are, what do you want to hear from us?
Exactly.
What are some topics that you'd like us to talk about? And we promise that before we come on and talk about a lot of these things, we will be doing some research and reading about them. That way, we're not only bringing you our opinions, because as much as we think our opinions matter, we want to bring you other people's opinions and facts to support what we're discussing. So that's what we
I just want to add to that, Vanessa, that no topic is off the table.
Absolutely.
We're embracing everything. We're going to definitely talk about race, because that is something that is real in America. We're going to talk about, because I have a son, we're going to talk about that whole thing, you know, of being Black and having to have that conversation with your son about the police and what that felt like for me. We're going to talk about everything that you can imagine. That's what I want to say. Those really tough issues, because we need to shine light on them. And not be afraid to have those difficult discussions.
And you know, just on that topic alone, you know, I can't even begin to imagine or relate to that. So having somebody share that truth and that experience to those of us that we don't get it, we can't imagine. And so I think that I'm looking forward to that episode right now. Let's do it.
What are the videos going to look like? Are they going to always look like this 3
No, absolutely not. We may do some single shot videos when Vanessa has something that she's really passionate about. And also, I would love for our videos to, if we could, do some action videos as well. because one of the things we're going to talk about also is health and well-being and incorporating exercise into your life. So I would love for us to have some coverage over there, and not only have this as our only location perhaps.
Yeah, absolutely.
But to, shoot off site.
Off-site.
Yeah, to shoot off site.
Definitely.
Yeah. And also, as we move along, we'll have some guests.
Especially on topics that Angela and I are both foreign to, you know, that we don't have a great understanding. So when we really dig into LGBTQ, we have some great people that we know that can help us out and talk about their experiences. You know, we have connections with patients or people that have issues with drug addiction. Yes. We can bring them in to try to shed light on that, because I think, you know, people like that have been kind of cast aside as not being important or not mattering, when they're everywhere. They're in our homes, they're our next door neighbors, they're our patients, they're our friends, they're families, and we have to just try to figure out a way to solve that problem and fix it. And if we're not talking about it constantly and continuously, we never will. And so I think all kinds of topics and guests, for sure.
What kind of interaction can the audience expect from you?
So we initially will be posting videos and reading through the comments, looking and seeing if there's anything that you guys want to hear more of, that you want to see a little bit less of. And then we also are going to have, so we'll have this on a YouTube channel. We are going to have an Instagram page. We're going to have a Facebook page. So we encourage you to follow us, to like us, to subscribe. Yes. And then we will be engaged, as well as Twitter, obviously, all the above. And we will be engaged and try to answer any comments and you know, interact with that. I would say probably on a daily basis. I'm on Facebook all the time for my own personal accounts. I'm happy to hop on others, and I think Angela will too.
I will do that. Yes, I'll do that. So we want to make it clear beyond a doubt that any opinion that Vanessa and I express is our opinion.
Exactly.
So that's my disclaimer. This has nothing to do with what I do or who I work for. This is Angela Felicia Wright Trapp's opinion. And if you love me, I love you back. And if you don't love me, I love you even more.
I love you more.
So, you know, I welcome the feedback, positive, negative, indifferent. I welcome the feedback because that is where growth and change takes place. When we can embrace the opinions and perspectives of others, to honor them and also show dignity and respect. That's what's missing in our world today.
Absolutely.
So I welcome your opinion.
Yeah. And I think, you know, Angela and I have a lot of similarities in how we think and view the world, but we have some differences. And I think the other thing that I would look forward to doing is bringing some people onto the show as guests who come from a completely different background and thought process than we do, because we don't want to be in an echo chamber.
No.
Just sitting here going, oh, I love that, Angela, and I love you too, and everything we do is amazing. Yeah, we need to have some people then to challenge us, but by no means are we going to disrespect them.
Absolutely not.
Or
Absolutely
invalidate their views or opinion, because
Absolutely.
that is the quickest way to just completely losing all ability to come to a consensus about anything.
Yeah.
No.
One of the things, I was thinking back what Robert asked about what did I want to get out of this, is I would like for people to really come to an understanding that we are all interconnected.
Yeah.
And what that means is that without having honor and respect and dignity and love, you know, for you and compassion for what you're going through, I'm really doing a disservice to myself.
Yeah.
And in the long run, when this is all said and done, we can only be successful in terms of evolution and in being human beings, is that when we can look at each other and say, my actions, my reactions towards my neighbor, towards you know, someone in another country, is all kind of reverberating and coming back to me. So I really want people to, I want them to grasp and to understand that Dr. Martin Luther King's, I can't remember his exact quote. Jalen, you can give it to me later on, but it's something to the effect that until everybody is free, I'm not free.
Yeah, yeah.
And so that's really what this is for me. I would love to see people be more compassionate and understanding towards each other. And if we could just get that you can't hurt me without hurting yourself.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, the amount of effort it takes to hate someone or to feel negativity towards them, I find it to be so much more than it takes to just be kind and loving. I find, and every time I feel negativity or hatred about any of those emotions, it does nothing but make me feel worse.
But that's true. That's what it does. It's a saying, and it says that the hate that you give out is, just remember that you're keeping that original copy of it.
Exactly.
And, you're sending it out, but you're holding on to that. And it impacts, and we'll talk about that. It impacts you physically.
Yeah.
Emotionally, it does have a negative impact on your body as well. So just loving kindness, that's all I say, loving reverence for all life.
Yeah.
That's what we're talking about.
And I think it's funny because, when I first met Angela, she was trying so hard to get me into meditation and focusing on presence. And I was like, you are so lame. I'm so not doing that, right? Yes. And she was kindly like, okay, that's fine. I'm just trying to float it out there, something that may help for. And then I had, for those of you that are Modern Family fans, I had a wedge salad moment where Angela was beating me to death about this, and somebody else who I connected with introduced me to the concept of being present, and I just totally embraced it and found a way to perform what she'd been telling me this whole time, just in a different way. And now it's totally changed my life and made me so much happier and able to deal with any challenges that I have. And then I went back to Angela. I said, "Oh, you're right, Angela."
And I did not say I told you so.
Oh, yeah, you totally did. Yeah, you did.
That. I can't believe I said that.
No, she didn't. Okay, you're right.
I did
You
not.
didn't. I told you so. You did. I told you so with your face.
Oh my God.
You did. You were like, mm-hmm. And I can't make the face, but you were like, oh, so you like that, huh?
Okay, I'm going to challenge you and say that was your perception.
That might be. We perceive what we think, we imagine someone's going to throw out there.
Exactly.
But we won't know because no one will have video of that interaction. But we'll see. Angela has a very expression face, and I picked up on it. We, find that to be impactful in regards to research that we've done, articles that we enjoy, quotes that we find. We'll just simply post those to make sure that those people that originated that content are getting credit for their work and their thoughts.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely. That's our introduction. And I want to end with this challenge you with this question, because we're about to enter 2020. So for the last 348 days, you have been in a relationship with 2019. The end of the road is near in this relationship. It's coming to a close with 2019. I would like for you to think about two things. What has been the most significant, memorable moments of 2019? And the second thing is, what would you like to focus on, create, and bring into 2020? So what has been so great about 2019? What do you savor? What are those moments that stand out for you? And in 2020, what do you want to create for yourself? What are you going to create for yourself? Because we have the power to co-create our lives. And that's some of the things that we're going to talk about as well. Vanessa?
I don't know that I have. I think I'm going to think about that because it's pretty profound to go back through the year and identify something, a moment that stands out, or I think about most recent moments that I've had. Most of them are with my children. But one thing I have is the idea to start this I'm so excited about it. And to me, that's probably one of the things I'm looking forward to most in 2020 is the possibilities of this. Where's it going to go? Who are we going to reach? What topics are we going to explore? How are we going to grow? And that's, I'm really looking forward to that.
So am I.
Yeah.
Yeah. Infinite possibilities.
Yeah.
Infinite beautiful possibilities.
Yeah.
That's what life's about. That is actually what living on 10 is as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Embracing those infinite possibilities and believing in it.
I think what we're going to do, at least what I'm going to do, is I'm going to think about your question and I'm going to post it in the comments and let you all see what my thoughts are on that.
Yeah.
And I look forward to reading yours.
Okay. And I will do the same. I will do reflect on 2019 for those precious moments, the moments that I savored, the moments. I want to say this. Those moments don't necessarily have to have been wonderful moments. It could have been something that gave you an aha, a breakthrough. And so sometimes those are the most difficult times, but powerful in terms of transformation. And I will think about what I want to focus on and bring into my world in 2020 because I am powerful that way, and so are you.
And thank you so much. This has been Life on 10. I want to remind everybody to please like, subscribe, comment, send us everything you can, all the love you have for us, because that's how we will be able to help spread our message and help affect more change and help more people.
Okay, and so we are signing off, and we challenge you, as we will challenge you with every sign off, to live your life on 10.
I think we killed it.